Do you ever worry? I don't want you to ask me that question because I don't want to lie to you and say I don't. Yes, I do worry. But I have found that God has a special provision for worry. And this is in Matthew 11:28 and 29. That's why we need to know the Word, because the Word overcomes anything the enemy does. He said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Are you worried and burdened? You know, folks, if we're always going around worried and burdened, we will not have the rest of the Lord. And there have been times, like when I was in other countries, that my life was threatened. And, I think I could be killed. But I would speak the promise, his yoke. I'm under his word. And he's gentle. And he's lowly in heart. And he'll give me rest. And it says he gives his beloved sleep. And even with jet lag, because when I go to some of these countries, there's 11, 12 hours difference. And I think, I need to get my rest. In the morning, I have to be up. We're having a big meeting. We're having a healing meeting. And so I went to the Lord. I said, I have jet lag. I don't know how I'm going to swing this. And here's what he said to me. I don't have jet lag, and you're in me. And so you can rest in me. So he gives his beloved sleep. I don't know how many times I have taken this and put it on him. I'm going to take your word. I'm going to take your yoke. You're gentle and lowly, and you give me rest for my soul. Now, soul here is mind and emotions. So it isn't just physical body. And where we get into worry and torment is in our soul, our mind and our emotions. And here he is saying, hey, don't do that. Come to me. Let me carry these things for you. And I know finances sometimes. I've had, we do a lot of things, and it costs a lot of money. And how are we going to do it? And so we were in Egypt not too long ago, and we were setting up healing meetings, and somebody had already set them up and spent all this money to set it up. I don't have the money, and here they've done it. I wanted to slap him sideways, but I thought, wait a minute. God, you are my source. And so we did the meetings. We had wonderful meetings, had healings, people saved, people delivered from cigarettes. It was a wonderful time. And when I got home, someone called me and said, I feel led to give you this much money for your meeting in Egypt. And it was enough money to cover. Folks, I think we can fear and fuss and worry over all kinds of things: health, finances, children, marriage, future. But if we'll come to him, he can give us peace and rest. And that's my prayer for you today. Take his rest. Matthew 21:22. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. I saw this early in my life, reaching nations. I wanted to go to Ethiopia, and it was during a time when they were under communism. Russia had them. And so, they said, no, there's no way you can go. And we were going to take food and take Bibles into Ethiopia. A very dark time for them. So they said, no, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I told my secretary, let's just believe God, no matter what they tell us, that it won't happen, that it will happen, that we will get to do this. So we made the decision. We spoke that God was going to do it. God was going to do it. And one day we got a report. We got a phone call. And they said, well, we have decided that we're going to let you come in, and we are going to let you bring food, and you will not be punished. by the communists. It will come to pass. So I couldn't believe it. It was so wonderful. And I got my equipment in to take pictures and photos of it, got to go, didn't get in trouble with the government. And then and it was kind of a dangerous time for me to be doing this, but because I sewed that one, I went into Ethiopia 9 different times. And Sarah went in also, as well as my granddaughter. You see, folks, if we look at the impossible and think it's impossible, if we look at what God can do to take the impossible and make it possible, it can be the best thing in the world. So I just want to pray right now for something that is impossible in your life to come to pass. So, Father, I pray for everyone watching this right now. I pray for the impossible to be done. If we're going to live by the possible, we're not going to live in faith. But if we're going to live by the impossible, we're going to believe that all things are possible to him that believeth. So I thank you. This is just an opportunity for a miracle. And once we get opportunities in miracles, it opens the door for more and more and more and more miracles. I like Matthew 28:20. I like to share it with you because really it's the basis of God's call on my life. And I believe it's basis for you too. Matthew 28:20 says, "Teach these new disciples to obey all of the commands I have given you, and be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Now, he's saying, teach new disciples. That means people who are learners. Look for them. Don't just ignore them. Take cookies to them. Give them a tract. Give them a Christian book. Ask them if you can pray for them. Do something that gets their attention, that you care about them. I think this is very important. Then he says, you can teach them the commands, because once they know you care about them, they will listen to what you have to say. This is the way I started my ministry, with little home Bible study, 7 women, and we had cookies and coffee and Bibles. And today, we reach millions of people, millions of people. And if you had said, is that the way you started? If you had been there at that first one, you would have said, well, I don't know. But see, he's with you. And he's with you even to the end of the age. And I take that to the end of my age, that he's with me, he's helping me make decisions, he's helping me to win people, he's giving me favor with lost people. I just love lost people, and lost people just love me. And I get this opportunity not only in big healing meetings in other countries, but I also get it on airplanes. And I'm not rude, crude, and uncouth. I tried the door, and if they don't want to talk, I don't just blast them, because I don't think you have to be rude, crude, and uncouth. But I think you can try. Teach new disciples to obey all the commands. These new people who need loving help need to know the word. And you say, well, sometimes they just blow it. I'm tired of them. But he's with you in it. May not look like you're very successful, but he's with you to the end of the age. And I can remember when a well-known evangelist was in our church, and we just had a small church, and I had these small Bible studies, and he said to me, of all the pastors' wives I know, you're the biggest example of a failure. I said, why? Well, you don't lead the choir. You don't play an instrument. All you do are those silly little home Bible studies. Silly little home Bible studies have helped me reach the world. He is with me, and he's with you. Reach the world. Listen to this, because you'll just love Matthew 6:6. When you pray, notice when you pray, not if you pray. When you pray, go into your room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Oh, this is awesome, because sometimes my secret place is my car. Yeah, I like to pray in the car. Why just waste the time? You know, it takes 22 minutes to get to church. So why not pray in the car? Sometimes my secret place might be in my bedroom when I'm waking up and I'm praying to my Father for that day for something so special. And sometimes it could be in a church service. I see something that I think, oh God, you're really speaking to me about this. And so I pray. And I don't pray out loud and get everybody's attention, but I pray. It's a secret place. So you say, well, you can pray any place, anytime. You bet. And I love this. And so it's interesting to me how sometimes when I have prayed about something I wanted so much, and then God answers it right there. For example, one time I was praying about a certain nation, and you know, it's just between me and God. And someone prophesied over me in that service that I would go to that nation. Is God cool? Is he concerned about our prayer life? He is very concerned. And so I think when the Bible says we have not because we ask not, we think we have to be in a special place. But I believe any place can be your place of prayer. So this is a very important thing for you to know, that we can pray without ceasing in all kinds of places, and that we can pray when somebody maybe is bashing us. We can pray silently and say, God, help me to have an answer. Help me to have a right attitude, because right now I just want to slap them. But slapping isn't going to be the answer. So these are times when we can just pray any place, any time, and the Bible says that God hears you. It's a secret with you, but God hears you in that secret place. So I'm delighted you're going to make prayer a lifestyle. Yeah, why not? Why stop and just, oh, I have to feel religious? Why can't you pray in your car? Why can't you pray silently in a situation or a circumstance? I believe prayer will work any place. And the Bible says again, we have not because we ask not. You say, well, I just don't have any patience with that child or with that situation or at my work. Well, pray silently and pray that you will have what you need for that circumstance. And you say, well, it doesn't work. Honey, too late to tell me that. I'm older than you. And prayer works. And sometimes, you know, I've been in situations that were scary. Whew. And I have prayed and seen God come and give me an answer that I didn't know I had. So we're going to pray and speak to mountains, and mountains are going to move, and we're going to get what's on the other side of the mountain.